In this section, we're going to look at applying styles. Now, we've got a document here with sort of no formatting, it's just plain text. If I click within this first line here, what I can do is I can apply style information to it. I can apply a heading 1 style. So under the Home tab in the Style section here, I click within this first line, and if I click where it says heading 1, that will mark that as a header 1. This line here that says what is SEO, if I click within that, I can mark that one as a header 2. And this one here, I can mark that as a header 2. Now as I go down here, there's various other things like white hat versus black hat SEO. I can mark that as a heading 2. And if we go down here, I can mark that one as a heading 2. So basically by doing this, I'm giving structure to the document, and I'm marking various items here as header 2s. I could of course have header 3s, header 4s, as many different levels as you want really, but really you just use sort of 2 or 3 levels. So as I said, if I click within this first line here, you can see that's clearly marked as a header 1. If I click within the next line, you can see that's formatted using the normal style, and if I click here, that one is formatted using a header 2. As well as headings, there are other things you could use for formatting. So for instance, let's say you wanted to turn this into a quote. You could click within it, click where it says quote, and that formats it so it's centered and it's got a slightly different type of formatting. It's I think it's slightly lighter text, and it's also in italics. So as I say, there are various different styles you could use, but the way you'd normally use styles is what I did originally, is to format something as a header 1, and then within that have different heading levels like a header 2 and so on and so forth. You might think, well, why would I bother? Well, this kind of gives structure, because if people don't use headers, then what happens is if they want to come down here and say, let's mark something so it stands out, so maybe this, what they'd do is they'd do this, maybe this, and change a different font, something like, I don't know, Arial. And then when they go to another thing that should be marked as a header, they would apply sort of similar but maybe different formatting. So they might use the same font, maybe italic bold or something like that. And it kind of looks unstructured. By using the sort of formal header 1, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3 type styles, the whole thing looks a lot more professional because all the formatting is using the same formatting as applied by the style.